Title, 12 Hours Alive. Hour 1, 6 Tondo, Manila, a concrete alley behind a rundown boxing gym. Scene opens with the sound of distant screams. A man lies motionless near a dumpster. The morning sun barely peeks through heavy smog. Camera pans to the gym door, burst open, blood on the floor. You stumble out, sweat-drenched, shirt torn. You're shaky. 12 rounds in the ring ain't got nothing on this, whatever this is. I went in for training. I came out into hell. You spot movement. A tricycle driver, mouth foaming, dragging one foot, sprinting toward you unnaturally fast. Damn it. Jun? Jun? Lunges. You sidestep, slam a jab to the jaw. It dislocates, but he doesn't flinch. He tackles you. You hit the pavement, hard. You don't feel pain? Fine. Let's see how you handle this. You shift position, knee to the gut, elbow to the side of the neck. Jun's skull hits the edge of the curb with a sickening crack. He goes limp. No weapons. No time. Just fists and instinct. You duck into a sari-sari store with metal shutters half down. Inside, a small battery-powered radio buzzes. Confirmed attacks in Caloocan, Pasay, Quezon City. Reports say infected are highly aggressive, do not respond to pain, avoid bites, head trauma disables them, military lockdown expected. So it's not just Tondo. It's everywhere. You grab a bottle of alcohol and a few energy bars. A mirror shows the cut above your eye bleeding. You tear a strip from your sleeve. Wrap it tight. Rule 1. Stay sharp. Rule 2. Don't waste a punch. And Rule 3. Keep moving. You slip back into the alley, then sprint toward the train tracks. The sound of distant gunfire echoes in the Manila skyline. Title, 12 Hours Alive, Hour 2, 7 a.m. Location, along the PNR train tracks, near Blumentritt Station. Camera follows your fast, low movement down the gravel-covered railway. You're barefoot. Shirtless now, blood splatter stains your arms. Every breath is calculated. Used to be, I ran these streets dodging cops and junkies. Now I'm dodging the dead. Funny how life loops like that. Suddenly, your foot brushes against something cold. You stop. A mangled corpse lies face down in the dirt. Next to it, shiny brass, a knuckle duster. What kind of idiot brings this to a zombie fight? Picks it up, slides it onto his right fist. The kind of idiot that dies early. You approach a flipped jeepney, inside, movement. A teenager, 14 or 15, bruised and panicked, clutching a broken bottle. She sees you. Don't come close. I'll cut you. Relaxing hands, voice low. I'm not one of them. You hurt? My kuya's dead. They bit him. You nod. She looks down. Her hands tremble. What's your name? Iya. Iya, you got 2 choices. Stay here till they find you, or come with me and keep breathing. But if you turn, I end it fast. Okay. You 2 move. Carefully, in sync, you scout ahead. She watches your back. As you pass under an overpass, a moaning horde emerges. I taught boxing in Basco. Kids like her. Tried to keep 'em off the streets. Tried to give 'em fists for defense, not violence. Most didn't listen. Some did. A fast infected charges. You shove Aya behind you. A jab, hook and crack. Knuckle duster shatters its temple. Blood sprays across your chest. You don't flinch. You killed him with 1 punch. You! No. I killed what was left of him. You duck into a nearby LBC branch, barricade the door with a table. Inside, blood, silence, a flickering wall-mounted TV powered by emergency backup. Mass infection from Makati to Laguna. DOH says no cure. Suspected viral origin. Head trauma remains the only reliable method. Philippine Army retreating to Camp Aguinaldo. Civilians advised to evacuate north. You! Camp Aguinaldo's too far. We need somewhere smaller, somewhere they ain't looking. Aya finds a map, points at Dangwa Flower Market. They closed it last year, empty stalls, reinforced gates. Maybe we can rest? Smart girl. No army, no police, no family left. Just this kid. A pair of fists and an idea. As you leave the LBC, a scream echoes from a nearby barangay hall. Ah, we can't help them, right? You! Not without dying. Not today. You both run toward Dangwa, ducking shadows. Rain starts to fall. Blood washes off your fists, but not from memory. End of hour 2. Hour 3, 8 a.m. Location, near Dangwa Flower Market, Manila. Narrow streets littered with corpses and burned-out vehicles. You and Aya move quickly, sticking to walls. You pause at an intersection, scanning rooftops. Aya's breathing hard. Stop. Breathe through your nose. You panic. You slip. You slip. You die. Nods. You used to be a coach? Boxing. Baseco gym. Bouncer. And before that? Let's just say I know what it means to survive by your fists. As you enter the flower market, the smell of death mixes with wilted petals. You climb through a gap in the gate, locking it behind you. Stalls stretch out like a maze. We rest 1 hour. No fire. No noise, just watch and breathe. Suddenly, a voice behind you. Drop the knucks. 4 armed survivors emerge. Makeshift spears, broken machetes, and one has a pistol. Name's Baldo. This market, ours. You want in, you follow rules. We're not looking for trouble. Just sleep and silence. Rule 1, your food's our food. Rule 2, no weapons unless we say so. Rule 3, you break the first 2, we break you. You step forward, calm but coiled like a spring. You got mouths to feed, I got fists that don't miss. That you let us stay 1 hour, I'll do guard duty. Baldo stares. Fair trade. 1 hour. They back off, but their eyes never leave you. You sit near a flower stall with Aya. Guys like Baldo, they smell weakness. This is the new Manila. No mayors, no cops, just the strong and the smart. While Aya naps, you overhear 2 survivors talking quietly near a radio. Army pulled back from Camp Aguinaldo. Too many infected inside. Someone said Tagaytay's safe. Highlands, fewer infected. You lock that intel away. Tagaytay, high ground. Clean air, fewer roads in. That's the kind of place you can build a wall. You check your brass knuckle duster. Still solid. Then you quietly tie a length of chain around your forearm, found it near the flower carts. Time to evolve. Suddenly a scream from outside the gate. A woman. Loud. Close. We're not helping again, right? Not yet. We survive first. We help later. But you're already moving to the gate, just in case. End of hour 3. Hours alive, hour 4. 9 a.m. Location, Dangwa Flower Market, now under the rule of Baldo's group. Scene opens with the sun rising higher. You're leaning against a concrete post, eyes scanning Baldo's men. Aya is half asleep behind a flower cart. Boxing taught me rhythm, how people move, how they think. I don't need a weapon to know when someone's about to swing. You see Baldo whisper to 2 of his boys. One disappears behind a stall, the other eyes your brass knuckle duster. On my signal, run west, stick to alleys, no hero moves. Are we fighting? No. We're surviving. Baldo walks up, fake smile wide. Hours up, champ, you and the girl can leave. But the brass, that stays. You. I gave you guard duty. You want my fist too? He draws a pistol, points it low but steady. I want what's mine, and right now, that means everything you got. You sigh. Calm. You raise your hands slow, then suddenly step in, redirecting the pistol arm upward. A deafening bang echoes. You slam a body shot to Baldo's liver, knuckle duster cracking ribs. I was 13 the first time I fought a grown man. My tatay owed money. They sent collectors. I sent one to the ER. After that, I wasn't a kid anymore. Another thug charges you with a lead pipe. You duck, inside slip, counter with a cross to the temple. Blood sprays. He drops. Ia runs, just like you said. You grab Baldo, now coughing blood, and slam his head against the flower cart. Wood cracks. Silence. The last guy, the one who vanished, emerges from the back with Ia at knife point. She elbows his gut, giving you an opening. You lunge. Let her go. You smash your chain-wrapped forearm into his face. Skull fractures. He goes limp. You and Aya flee, fast, breath heavy. You didn't have to fight them. Yeah, I did, because they thought I wouldn't. You duck into a nearby parking building, barricading the doors. There, you find an abandoned police radio, half-functional. Static, then voices. Survivors forming pockets in BGC Antipolo. Tagaytay rumoured secure. Be advised, secondary outbreak clusters detected in Rizal and Cavite. Tagaytay again, same place. 2 sources. That ain't coincidence. Ia looks at you, scared, not just of the world, but of you. What were you before this, before the gloves? You. a kid who hit back. Now? Just a man who refuses to go down. Camera pans out, Manila skyline burning in the distance. Blood on your knuckles, hope in your eyes. End of hour was alive, hour 5. Location, abandoned parking building, Sampaloc, Manila. You're sitting by a busted elevator shaft. Aya patches a small wound on your forearm with gauze from a stolen medkit. The air is thick, both with tension and the scent of rot from the lower floors. The body heals, that's what they say. But the brain, the guilt, the stuff you don't let out, that festers. You okay? Just tired. No, I mean before this. You talk like you've been tired a long time. You pause, voice low. My dad was a welder, drank his lungs out. When my mom died, I took care of my little brother. I worked, fought, bled, and still lost him to the streets. I buried my first body before I threw my first legal punch. A faint whistle. 3 quick notes. Sharp, almost musical. You freeze. You. Military code. Or something trying to look like it. You peek out a broken window. 2 figures emerge from the alley, a man in a tattered security guard uniform and a young woman in jeans and a backpack. Armed, but not aiming. Man, we saw your fight, not here to steal. We're looking for somewhere quiet. You nod once, you and Ia stay alert as they approach. Ga, name's Emil, used to guard a condo in Pandakan. This is Jessa, nurse trainee. BGC evac got overrun. You? Why whistle? Military evac used it before they fell. We figured it's safer than shouting. They sit across from you. The 4 of you eye each other like wolves sharing a fire. You heading somewhere? Thinking Tagaytay. 2 separate broadcasts say it's clean. I heard the same. Radio chatter on the way here mentioned Safe Zone Echo. No details, just coordinates scratched into an old pill bottle we found. She tosses it over. You read E1727 Highland. Sounds like a grid reference. Maybe a safe zone outpost. You draw a rough map with charcoal on the pavement, marking Tagaytay, BGC and known infected zones. Trust no one blindly. Share only what helps you survive. But if people bring something real to the table, maybe they're worth a seat. We've been surviving 2 days longer than you. The infected? Some are starting to remember doors, levers, patterns. You saying they're learning? No, I'm saying some never forgot. Everyone goes quiet. Later, you walk ear to the stairwell, watching the street below. Dozens of infected roam aimlessly. We move at sundown. Light blinds us. Dark blinds them. And if we don't make it, we don't die today. That's enough. End of hour 5. Title, 12 hours alive, hour 6. 11, location. Rooftop of an abandoned parking building, Sampaloc, Manila. A drone shot sweeps across rooftops, corrugated metal, clotheslines, satellite dishes. Somewhere below, the infected moan like waves. Ground's full of teeth, so we rise. That's the rule now. You're crouched near a broken AC unit, watching Emil tie a rope around a rebar post. He's focused, methodical. Used to be afraid of heights. Funny, right? Spent 15 years watching TV screens, always wondered what it's like up here. You got vertigo. Only when I look back. You nod. Emil finishes securing the rope. Across the 10-foot gap, another building. Slightly lower. Corrugated roof. It could hold you, or it could fold. One at a time. Ear first. Backpack low. Land soft. Roll if it gives. You'll catch me if I fall. I'll break whatever tries to drag you down. Ear crosses. Heart-pounding moment. She jumps. Roof creaks but holds. She lands with a roll, just like you taught her. You exhale. She waves. Okay? Jessa crosses next. Emil's hand lingers on her shoulder before she jumps. Be light. You got this. She makes it too. Then Emil turns to you. I had a son, 8 years old, smart kid, loved space, Legos, me sometimes. What happened? Sick even before all this. Hospital was the first place to fall. I was on shift. Didn't make it in time. That's why I keep helping strangers. Maybe it balances something. You clasp his arm, no words, just respect. Then he jumps. Lands safe. You take one last look over the city. A flock of birds erupts from the skyline. Something spooked them. This city raised me, bruised me, made me mean enough to live. And now, It's dying, but I'm not dying with it. You leap. The rooftop groans under your weight, but holds. Then behind you, noise. A crash. A door below bursts open. Infected pour into the stairwell. They heard us. Go. North rooftop. 3 more jumps, then we find a ladder down. The group moves fast. You leaping gap to gap, blood on the ledges, heat rising. Ia almost slips. Emil grabs her arm mid-jump. Got you. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Last jump, the final building's roof has a rusted ladder leading to a side alley. You drop first, then help them down. Street level. Quiet again. The horde is behind you now. For a moment, there's peace. You touch your knuckle duster, still warm from the tension. We don't go loud again. We move like shadows from now on. Hour 7, 12 p.m. Location, abandoned Sari Sari Road, just outside Bustillos, Manila. Your group moves slow and quiet, ducking under fallen electric poles and weaving past torched-out tricycles. Sun blazes overhead. You pause at a crumbling corner store. Quiet isn't just about sound, it's about presence. Don't breathe too hard, don't think too loud. Let the world forget you exist. There's a small clinic 3 blocks from here. I interned there 2 months before the outbreak. Might still be supplies. You sure? That area's tight. Lots of blind corners. We do it smart. 1 in, 1 watch, 1 flank. Nobody separates. You break the lock with a muffled crack from your brass knucks. Inside, it's dark and hot. Medical posters peeling off the walls, dust floats in sunbeams. Jessa steps in first, you flank. Aya watches the door with Emil. This place used to scare me, not because of blood, because I didn't know if I'd be good enough. You wanted to be a nurse? Not wanted, needed. My mom was diabetic, we couldn't afford private care. I figured if I learned enough, maybe I could keep her alive longer. Didn't work. She opens drawers, finds bandages, antiseptic, insulin bottles, expired but maybe still usable. Her hand lingers on a framed group photo from the wall.
Jessa.
They're all dead now. Every single one of them. Crash, back room. Metal shelf tipping over. Everyone freezes. Emil, check 6. Ia, lock the door. You creep toward the back, knuckle duster raised. As you peer around the door, a lurker, emaciated, twitching, silent. It crawled in through the ceiling duct. Some stalk. It lunges. You sidestead step, slamming it thick. With a clean elbow, crack its neck on the table edge. It twitches, dead. One's never alone. You yank open the cabinet next to it, find morphine, more gauze. Company. You bolt out, the streets filling, 6 infected hobbling down the road. Someone must have heard the shelf drop. Yo heroics, pack light, run hard. Everyone sprints. Emil throws a broken chair to block pursuit. Aya leads through an alley. 1 infected grabs your jacket. You spin and crack its jaw with a backhand blow. You don't stop. 3 turns later, panting, sweating, you burst into an abandoned school. Doors chained, quiet inside. You slam it shut behind you. Silence, just breath. Blood, dust. Everyone okay? All good. You look to Jessa. She's staring at the morphine in her hand. You all right? I wasn't there when she died. I was out buying eggs. I brought her breakfast and found her already cold. You don't speak, you just sit next to her. You saved people today. That counts more than breakfast. A long, heavy pause. Everyone carries ghosts now. The trick is learning to live beside them. End of hour 7, 12 hours alive. Hour 8, 1 p.m. Location, St. Gabriel Elementary School, Bustillos, Manila. The building groans in the heat. Empty classrooms, broken blackboards, faded bulletin boards with children's art now curling at the corners. Noise is easy to fight. Silence creeps in and guts you from the inside. Your group settles in a second-floor classroom. Windows boarded, Ia peeks through a slit in the wood. Streets are clear for now. Doesn't mean they'll stay that way. We should rotate watch shifts. Agreed. 1 up, 1 rest, 1 prep. No sleep, just reset. Everyone nods. Common sense wins again. You scan the old library for salvageable material, stacks of textbooks, yellowing pages, a torn-up shortwave radio tucked in a supply crate. Books teach you how the world used to work. Radios remind you how fast it fell apart. You manage to rewire the radio using loose copper wiring from a broken fan. Static, then faint chatter. Radio, mail void. Echo route clear. Bataan tunnels compromised. Safe zone echo remains active. Confirmed evac point grid E17. It's real. Echo's real. Then a banging echo down the hallway. Everyone jumps. Classroom door, bottom floor. Didn't sound like infected. Could be someone else hiding or stalking. Tension builds. You all freeze, listening. Another bang, slow, intentional. Then dragging. If it wanted in, it would have rushed. That's not hunger. That's curiosity. You draw your knuckle duster. Emil readies a steel pipe. You signal flank and pin maneuver. You descend quietly, hallway lit by broken window light. You pass old student lockers, one of them still decorated with a child's drawing of a sun. Every building is a grave now. Every wall remembers something screaming. Around the corner, you find the source. Not an infected, not a threat. A man, ragged, barefoot, kneeling in front of a teacher's desk, muttering to himself, unarmed, eyes wide with fear and detachment. Shh! They're still taking the exam. We can't disturb them. He's gone. Psych break. Total disassociation. We don't take him with us. We leave food. That's it. Agreed. He'll get someone killed or scream. You leave a can of sardines and a bottle of water beside him. He never looks at you, just whispers to invisible students in the room. Back upstairs, the silence feels heavier now. Ear lights a candle. Its flicker dances on cracked walls covered in old math equations. Iya, you ever think this is how it ends? Not with screams, just empty buildings and old homework? No, I think this is the part where we decide if it ends. Later, Emil sits alone. His hand trembles as he stares at a student ID he found in the hallway. A kid named Arvin. You sit next to him. Could have been my son. Same age, same messy writing. You're still here. That means something. Maybe, or maybe I'm just too stubborn to die. You hear the radio crackle again, more static than the same voice. Echo, evac moving. Repeat, Tagaytay fallback in 36 hours. Only confirmed corridor East Highway. Blockades at Buendia breached. Danger increasing. Now we have a clock. 36 hours. One way out. End of hour 8. 12 hours alive. Hour 9. Location, southbound flyover near V Mapa, Manila. Broken expressway, exposed to the sky. The camera pans down from a billboard, half of it torn off, reading, "Stay safe, stay inside," to your group moving carefully along a cracked expressway, the city burning in the far distance. Roads were made to carry dreams. Now they carry ghosts. And us, crawling between both. You lead, scouting every few meters ahead. Steel and concrete groan beneath your feet. A missing section of highway reveals the street 20 feet below. Gaps too wide to jump. We climb down, use the scaffolding, then hop back up. No heroes, just one grip at a time. The group ties shirts together to create a rope. You test it first, then descend into the dust below. Concrete dust clouds your lungs. You cough into your arm. I feel like I'm breathing in the apocalypse. Then breathe smart. Mouth closed, shirt up, one step at a time. You start across the side scaffolding, rickety, shaking with each step. Below, 5 infected pace under a crushed SUV, groaning softly. Ear hesitates mid-step. I hate heights. This isn't normal. This isn't survival. It's suicide. Then let's be surgical about it. One breath, one plank, one win. Halfway across, Emil slips. His foot punches through the wood. You catch him by the armpit just in time. Don't you dare let go. I'm not ready to. You get him up. The team makes it across. But then, a growl. One of the infected below looks up, starts climbing the side rail like a rabid monkey. They're learning. That's not just instinct anymore. You run. You sprint to the next off-ramp. Aya trips. A chunk of debris clips her leg. She yells in pain. Jessa scoops her up. No hesitation. I got you. Just breathe. At the base of the ramp, the road forks. One path is wide open but fully exposed. The other, narrow, cluttered, but more cover. Open path gets us spotted. Covered path slows us down, thoughts. Infected follow movement. Let's disappear, not outrun. Covered it is. You move into the side route, twisted jeepneys and fire-gutted cars. You pause at a shattered motorcycle helmet in the road, blood inside. Someone thought 2 wheels would save them. Wrong gamble. As the group rests inside a crumpled bus, you check Aya's ankle, bruised but not broken. You won't run, but you can limp. We adapt. Don't leave me behind. Never. Your crew. That means something. Emil looks out the back window. He doesn't speak, just clutches something in his hand, a folded photo of his son. You okay? Every hour we live feels like a letter I never sent. Then let's make it count. 1 step closer to echo, 1 less regret. You crack open a vending machine, share dry crackers and a half-full energy drink. Not much, but it feels like a meal. Every small win matters. Every inch forward buys us time, and in this world, time is the new currency. Camera pulls back, the road stretches ahead, twisted metal, flames in the distance. But the team, still walking, still breathing. End of hour 9. 12 hours allow hour 10, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Location, Checkpoint Delta, under the Nagtahan flyover. Makeshift fortress of sheet metal, tires, and flickering floodlights. Generator buzzes like a wasp hive. The sun's down. Manila is shadows and flame. You arrive at Checkpoint Delta, a barricaded survivor enclave guarded by scavengers in mismatched riot gear. Guard number 1, hands up. No sudden moves. We're clean. Just passing through. Guard number 2. Nobody just passes anymore. You all raise your hands. You stay loose, shifting your weight like you're waiting for the bell. You can smell violence on men like them, not desperation. Hunger. Inside, the checkpoint's a twisted mix of salvaged order, makeshift tents, oil drum fires, scared civilians. But the ones in charge? Laughing too loud, too clean. Something's off. This ain't survival. It's control. You're led to the leader, a lean, snake-eyed ex-military named Vargas, his knuckles wrapped in leather. He sizes you up like you're meat, not man. 4 fighters, 1 wounded, medical supplies, weapons, and a man who walks like he's caged lightning. You're not guests, you're assets, and this road belongs to us now. We're not staying, no, but you'll earn your passage. He points to a pit, blood stains the dirt. A crowd gathers. 1 round. You win, you walk. You lose, we keep the medic. I'm not a prize. You are when you've got steady hands and morphine. This is bad. Real bad. No choice. They want a show? I'll give them a f***ing pay-per-view. You step into the pit. They send in a mountain of a man, topless, scarred, wielding a chain wrapped around his fist. Boxing's about more than fists. It's rhythm, timing, knowing when to break the man in front of you before he breaks the one behind you. The crowd howls. First swing. Wide. You slip, crack his ribs with a liver shot. Off to the side. Don't dance, boxer. Hit or die. Second strike. He lunges, chain flying. You duck, sweep his legs, slam your brass-knuckled fist down on his throat. He gurgles. Not your show anymore. You rise, breathing hard, knuckles soaked in blood. The crowd? You. We're leaving. Now, or next one dies faster. Vargas smiles, but it's thin now. He waves his hand. Let them go. They're more trouble than they're worth. But the road east is infested. You'll wish you stayed. You regroup outside the gate. The city yawns before you, burning and wide. You didn't have to fight. Yes, I did, so you wouldn't have to. You sling Aya's arm over your shoulder. Emil takes point. Everyone's tired, but no one's broken. 10 hours in, and the dead still ain't the worst monsters we've met. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Location: Star Mesa backstreets. Crumbling homes, fire-blackened sari-sari stores, smoke clogging the sky. Wide shot of your group entering an alley. Walls tight. You're boxed in by tin roofs, hanging wires and echoes. A boxer loves open space. Distance, time to think. But war is fought shoulder to shoulder, cheek to teeth, bone to bone. The group moves single file. You lead. Jessa checks rear. Aya limps beside. This place is a funnel. If they corner us in here, then we don't let it happen. Watch for traps. Listen for breath that isn't ours. A low snarl. You freeze. A runner slams from behind a door, foaming and fast. Drop! You step into it, weave left, slip in, hammer the brass knuckles into its jaw. Teeth go flying. You catch its head on the rebound, slam into the wall. Skull splits. That was art. Horrible, bloody art. Suddenly, gunfire. 3 men with armor-lights block the alley ahead. Not soldiers, not sane. Bandaged eye, cracked helmet. Your bags. Your girl. Your lives. You first. No time to argue. You dive left as Emil lobs a rock. Not a weapon, but a distraction. It works. Bullets fly wide. You close the distance like a shark. Boxer mode activated. Elbow crushes a nose. Uppercut lifts a rifle barrel into a jaw. Foot stomps a kneecap backward. Blood spatters the wall. You take a cut to the shoulder. You don't even flinch. Jessa wrestles a gun away, turns it around, empties a clip. Silence follows. 3 down. I trained to save lives, not this. You saving us counts. You push into a cramped house. Bodies inside, 2 children wrapped in blankets. No signs of struggle. Peaceful, empty pill bottle nearby. They chose the easy exit. That's what this place does. Makes the impossible look gentle. Suddenly, a trap. A tripwire clicks. You shove Jessa aside as a rusted nailboard swings down. It grazes your ribs. We're not dying in someone else's coffin. You burst out the back. More runners pour from the adjacent building. You signal. No retreat. Close formation. Controlled strikes. Make them earn it. It's war. Bodies slam into you. Sweat blinds. You elbow, headbutt, roar like a demon. Your team holds the line. Emil crushes skulls with a crowbar, screaming names. Jessa stabs precise, surgical, cold. Ia, even limping, fights with a shard of mirror like she was born to it. When it ends, the alley's silent. Just the drip of blood from your hand. 11 hours in. We've buried our mercy, but we haven't lost each other. Not yet. End of hour 11. Alive, hour 12. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Location, Taiman District. Abandoned hospital, rooftop pad. Extraction window, 5:50 to 6 p.m. It starts with a broken transmission on a salvaged radio. Static. Then a voice. Radio. Faint. Chopper inbound. Evac zone, hospital, Sagrado rooftop. Final window, 1800. God help you if you're late. You check your battered group. Bruised. Cut. Limping. Still standing. We've got 45 minutes. 1 rooftop. 1 exit. Jessa, then we move like a scalpel. Not a sledgehammer. 1 more fight. 1 more hour. Then maybe we get to dream again. You traverse the slums. It's a race against sunfall. The hospital looms ahead. Massive, broken, bleeding light from shattered windows. Infected are everywhere. You breathe deep. The body breaks. But the mind, the will, not today. You breach through the ER, dark halls, flickering lights, gurneys overturned. You stay low, fast, smart. Elevator shaft. Climb it. My ankle's not going to hold. Then we carry you. Up the shaft. Fingers bleeding. Breaths shallow, 1 floor at a time. You reach the roof access door, but it's chained. We're so close. Stand back. You wrap your brass knuckles in cloth. 2 sharp punches. Chain snaps. You shoulder the door open. The rooftop explodes into sound and wind. The chopper's coming in. Blades chopping the dusk sky. The rooftop is littered with runners, drawn by the sound. You've got 5 minutes! We're not sticking around. The infected charge. You plant your feet, boxer mode final form. Uppercut drops 1 clean. Headbutt, elbow. You don't waste movement. Every strike is kill intent. Emil uses the crowbar like a war hammer. Screaming through grief, Jessa slices with surgical rage. Precise, cold. Aya even throws her crutch. Blinds a runner long enough to stomp its skull. But the horde doesn't stop. You're being surrounded. Get to the chopper! I'll hold them! No, you die, we die! She doesn't hesitate, grabs a flare, lights it, throws it to the far edge. The infected chase the fire. Not dumb, just human, and humans can be outsmarted. Final push. You lift Aya. Emil drags Jessa. You all sprint, bloodied, screaming as the ladder drops. The chopper lowers. 10 seconds. You throw Aya up, then Emil, then Jessa. One infected grabs your leg, you break its jaw with a punch from hell. You leap. Jessa grabs your arm, pulls you in. The chopper lifts. Manila falls beneath you, burning, dead, but no longer yours. You, collapsed in the bay, soaked in blood and sweat. 12 hours. Jessa, holding your hand. We made it. Camera pulls back. You're just 5 broken souls in a metal bird escaping a dying world, but alive, together. 12 hours alive, but tomorrow, the war changes.